don't got a song to play. We're just gonna hang out and vibe while we let people up into the space. I see Queen. Oh, I see you probably switched accounts, maybe. Nope, you're both here. I'll send y'all an invite. We are today going to talk cannabis technology. It's going to be a nice conversation. We're going to talk about the specific plant, the the details of in terms of the potential of the technology, as well as this particular project, Seedverse. We're here with Seedverse. So, technology. Let's get everyone on stage. Let's invite people into the space. We'll start up momentarily. Yes, y'all. Welcome, welcome. Please do tell a friend to tell a friend. Greetings, Stacy. Thank you. Good to see you. Let me send you an invite just in case you want to jump up and chat with us. Pragmatic, how you doing? Victor, how you doing? Again, yeah, please do send the invite, tell a friend. This is Tech Misfits Unite, and this is a very special conversation because, I mean, Tech Misfits is in fact about bringing the wide range of types of people who are into tech. You know, we are in fact building the most diverse tech network on the planet. So to consider those tech heads that are considering the possibilities within the cannabis space, I think that that's a very special thing. I see that Iris is here. Send you I gave Queen and Seedverse 2 hosts. I don't know if I can send another host. I done gone and messed up. Anyways.
You can let Seedverse co-host. I am more than happy to simply be a speaker.
I don't know how, I don't know how you adapt that, but we'll wait for Iris to come up first before we cross that bridge. Let me send some invites out.
I just wanted to hop up and say I'm doing well. I hope y'all are doing well and having a fantastic day. Excited for the conversation.
Pragmatic. Thank you very much for that. I hope you don't run away because you always contribute both vibe and substance to conversation, and would love to have you contribute. Iris.
Hey y'all, can you hear me?
We can hear you crystal clear.
Hello? Is that a yes?
Yeah. Can you hear us?
Okay. I can hear now. It takes like a few seconds for Twitter to start working.
Yeah, that was really weird, actually. Thanks for sending that link, Iris, because normally I would just go in and open it, and it would assume the space that I want to open is the one that's supposed to start right now. And it was like, "Do you want to start a new space?" So I was like, "No."
Yeah, I think it might be because they just released that new feature, so now you can create multiple spaces ahead of time.
Oh, really?
Yeah,
Okay.
I think they just announced it today or maybe yesterday. So now you can schedule up to 10 spaces ahead of time.
Oh, wow. That sounds good.
Yeah, I'm shocked it took them so long to do this, though. It feels like such an obvious feature, and it can't be that complicated to create.
Yeah, true. True. Well, welcome everyone. Welcome, Iris.
Thank you. It's good to see everybody. How are you doing, Mercedes?
Great to see you too, Queen. I'm good. Look on the text, inviting the whole family to join.
Awesome. Yeah.
Good, good. How are you?
I'm good. I'm having a good day.
That's excellent.
Yeah, it's been a whirlwind because this morning I had a investor meeting and I fumbled my pitch, and I was I was just like, when something like that happens, all you can do is think about it and what you would have done
Yes.
differently. So that's been on my mind all day. And then right at the end of the day, I had a meeting with someone who was just amazing, and I'm hoping you guys get to meet her. But she's a VC, really well connected. She loves the Tech Misfits project, and she's like on board to support in a big way. So I'm really excited.
Well, that's excellent. Well, we're just gonna manifest that it's already in the works.
Yes.
So she will be supporting the most diverse tech app and community that there is in the Web3 space.
Yes, absolutely. I cannot wait. Seedverse. Who's on the Seedverse handle?
Hey, what's going on, Iris? It's Trey or Vine. I
Hey.
just had to calm Aya down real quick so you guys didn't hear any babies chirping in the background.
What's your preferred name to go by?
You know what? It really doesn't matter. Like you can go Vine, you can go Trey, you can put them both together. I'm good with both.
Okay. What is
We were
verse?
Yeah.
laughing with we were laughing with Enoch with Quibbits or Lit about that earlier this week.
Where is Enoch?
Right? Where is he? Uh-oh, there goes Aya.
Yeah, we saw Enoch yesterday, but I just wanted to say we welcome co-hosts, so don't worry about that. You know what I mean? Like that's just reflective of the family. We can't lock out the family out of it's the real vibe. That's all I'm saying. That's a co-host. No one agrees.
I'm sorry, I wasn't listening properly. I was sending a text message.
Oh yeah, I just paused from trying to like let people know to talk for a second, so I know how that is. No, I was saying you don't have to worry about the little ones making noise because that's just a co-host, and we
Right.
welcome the family vibes, the co-host. Yes.
Right.
I don't know about those vibes. She be screaming.
How do you guys manage? How many kids are you at now?
Just one. This is our first one. We're new parents.
Oh, why did I think you had multiple?
No, girl, please do not put that on me.
For some reason, I thought you were on like your third kid.
No. No. We might stop at one or two.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, so we manage. It's so funny because remember how you were talking about like, okay, don't buy a house and be a business owner. Don't try to, it's crazy trying to have a startup and a baby and a house, like
Mhm.
between like just the expenses, the time and everything. It's crazy. It's crazy, but we make it work. And we just spin off. Trey takes the night shift most times and gives me the day shift, which allows me to get enough sleep. And he's okay with being a bit of a vampire. And yeah, he living that vamp life. So
I love the teamwork.
yeah, hey, look, we've been in business together for quite a few years. So, I would definitely say that owning a dog together or having a business together, buying a house together, things like that really help to build the team dynamic and make couples figure out how to, um, manage it all.
Yeah.
So shout
Yeah.
out to my partner.
I can definitely relate. Omar and I we have all these systems in place for the house and for the business. Everything's divided up a certain way, and it works. It works really well. But I think the business helped us figure out how to add structure into like our personal life.
Exactly. And how to solidify our relationship on paper because we was like, okay, yeah, we need contracts. You're gonna need job descriptions. we, we need to know what everybody's doing here and what we're contributing to the business together. It's a beautiful thing, though. We love it.
Love it. Welcome, everybody. Thank you for joining us. If you haven't signed up for the Tech Misfits waitlist yet, please go ahead. Tech Misfits is in the top left corner. We are giving away a lot of NFTs, so definitely make sure you go join that waitlist and follow the instructions that we send to your email. Don't wait till it's too late. That's all I'm going to say. All right. So we have Seedverse here today as our guest. I know we've had them on a few other calls, but I wasn't able to join. So I'm coming into this completely fresh questions, completely fresh perspective. I hope that I know that the community call and On Point on Wednesday, community call on Monday with Black NFT Art, I'm sure that went really well. I'm excited to dig in today, but let's just start off with some intros. I will start, and then let's go to Symbolic, and then our guests, and then we can go from there. So I'm Iris, co-founder and CEO of Umbadaima, founder of Tech Misfits, and really passionate about technology, closing the wealth gap, and Web3.
All right, I'll take it. That's me. I'm Symbolic Kwame. I am content communication manager with Umbadaima. Been rocking hard from Black NFT art on Clubhouse. I am a poet, communicator, hip hop is where I got my start, and I'm also into 360 virtual reality storytelling. And I'll every now and then I partake in my my cannabis in the smoked form. So glad to be here. Thank you.
That's what I'm
I love
talking
how you
about,
added that in.
Symbolic. Yeah, so shout outs to everyone who joined the Tech Misfits Cannabis Twitter space. Definitely want to give a big up to Iris and developing this community. We're definitely appreciative of what you've done and what you continue to do as a Black leader and as a woman leader. Definitely big ups to that and to Symbolic. Symbolic has been just a loudspeaker when it comes to echoing out what Uma Diema are doing, what Tech Misfits are doing, what Black NFT Arts have been doing, and right now what Seed and the Seedverse is doing. So major shout outs to you two. We appreciate the partnership, the relationship we're developing now. So I think we can begin. What you guys think?
Yeah. Yeah, let's get started. So tell us about Seedverse. What is it? And what is Project Seed?
Okay, so for everyone in the audience, Seedverse was introduced as our Web3 project in order to showcase what we at Seed believe in, and that's Afrofuturism powered by cannabis. We're showing the community what we as a cannabis business do, how we partner with other Black and allied entrepreneurs and filter those resources so that we essentially have ownership in multiple industries, with the base being in cannabis. For us, for our business, Seedverse, the Web3 business, and for um, Seed Inc., we believe that cannabis is a vehicle that we can use to eliminating the problems in our community and providing some solutions. So just as Tech Misfits believes that technology and putting that in the hands of a diverse community, we believe the same thing with cannabis. We believe that if we combined a technical strategy along with embedding the cannabis plant at the root of that as a resource for our people to use, there is nothing that can stop us. And the Seedverse ultimately shows a storyline of how we're going to be doing this. Queen Mercy, you got your hand up.
I think you skipped over your intro, and you definitely skipped over my intro.
All right. Well, now that we got your pretty voice or beautiful voice, let's hear it.
Okay, all right. Well, in the spirit of ladies first, I will definitely introduce myself. I am Queen Mercy, and I am a Taurus rising Leo. I am a light worker and a self proclaimed highly sensitive person. And so I've been in corporate America in marketing and communications for over 15 years, and then really segged into entrepreneurship over the past 10 years. And then met my wonderful husband once I moved here to the DMV about 2014. And then we forayed into the medical cannabis industry. He professionally, Trey was in it, first professionally as a dispensary manager. And a dispensary and grow manager for a multi-state operator. And then we jumped into it on the business end after a failed attempt at the Maryland social equity round of cannabis licenses. So that experience really spurred our transition into the cannabis tech industry. And then we came up against a whole bunch of red flags and firewalls trying to get into the fundraising and payment processing side of things. And that's what ultimately brought us to building Seed Inc., which is the power behind the Seedverse. And then I'll let Trey speak to that because it's really his brainchild and his baby that not Aya, not our baby girl, but it's really his brain baby that really brought Seed Inc. to life and the Seedverse as the creator. So just wanted to give y'all a little background as to where we come from and how we got into this. And yes, please proceed, my love.
Hey, much love, Queen. So, Seedverse, or actually a Seedverse, Seed Inc., like Mercy said, we started from being denied a license by the state of Maryland when we applied for a cultivation license. And that really was the start of everything. It really showed us that, the state really didn't have our back when it came to minorities getting licenses. And we saw that there was a lack of resources available to us, specifically minorities and Black entrepreneurs. We saw that, uh, there were many people price gouging because of this license being a life changer, it being worth over $1 million. So we ultimately uh, built our value chain. We gathered multiple resources in marketing, security, our legal, and we saw that all of this took so much time, and we only had 3 months to put together a business plan, put together an investment portfolio that showed that we were worth more than $2.5 million. So we were able to do this in a short amount of time, but we can see exactly how other Black entrepreneurs aren't capable. I decided to create Seed Inc. in order for us to make sure that we're planting knowledgeable seeds and resources in the hands of other people within our community and in the hands of these businesses, making sure that they are as diversified as they claim to be. So with Seed, it really, because this is a Web3 space, it really took on the form of the Web3 concept, that being transparency, security, and being community oriented. We really took that on. For myself, we took that on before I even knew or dove more into what Web3 was. So we are a community and platform that well, first, before I even go into this, I wanted to ask everyone on the call right now, How many of you have are involved with cannabis? Do you consume or do you have products? And that can be hemp too. Do you have shoes that are made from hemp? Do you have a jacket that's made from hemp? Anything, just show an emoji, show a heart or a laugh or anything, just so I can, figure out who's doing what. So I see a few. So for that, we've noticed and we've done our market research that there are only 2% of Black entrepreneurs in the cannabis space. And for us, we found that absolutely ridiculous when it comes to the amount of uh, Black people in America who are imprisoned for this plant. There were multiple policies that were set in place to make sure that we were deterred from this industry, and we want to make sure that that is completely reversed. We want to not only educate our people on the deep history and lineage that we have that's been missing and blocked from or within cannabis, but also the business side, the innovation side. Technology is extremely innovative, and it's a groundbreaking industry that involves everything. Cannabis is not um, the exception. It can be used combined with technology to create multiple industries and multiple institutions. And because we're using this plant, it can replace multiple institutions and industries that have harmed us. First being our economics. We've been harmed by multiple outlets and haven't been given the opportunity to collectively come together and spread our group economics. Next comes our the environment. For a lot of our people, we've been placed in, or we've been living in areas that are deadly to us. Right now we've seen in West Baltimore and in Mississippi that the water is extremely polluted. It has toxins, and we're seeing the same things within our houses. So for us, we want we want our people to be more on the mindset that cannabis is a game changer. It's more than something that can be smoked. We can use this as a collective to get out of the situations that we're in on our own. And we don't have to wait for people to give us licenses. Within our platform, we're all about strategy and organization. So when it comes to gathering licenses and getting products and services with it on retail shelves, we make sure that our people have an outlet to make that happen. And we also making sure that we're doing this as a community and as a collective. It's all about us being able to aggregate the skill sets that we have right now into the cannabis industry. You don't have to be a plant touching entity in order to be considered a cannabis industry. Point, uh, the clearest point is us. We're a tech company that provides vital resources, all of the resources you could possibly need to start, build, and grow your business without touching the plant. So we're giving you direction, we're giving you insight on what's happening, and we're giving you the structure, because that is the most missing element when it comes to cannabis. For our platform, we provide a supply chain network structure so that somebody came on. Oh, I'm sorry. So we provide a supply chain network structure so that the people within your network, you utilize them to the best of your capability, and you're building a relationship with them. So I know exactly who is in my network, and I know exactly what they can provide. So that could be marketing like Mercy, technology consultations like Iris. And I see Symbolic, he even does, like he was mentioning, he creates music and beats. These are things that need to be integrated within the cannabis industry, because the message has to change from a consumer standpoint to an innovator to an owner standpoint. Mercy, what's up?
Excellent. I absolutely love that. So I did just want to touch on that. Those, we call those ancillary businesses. If you're not actually touching the plant, If you're not a grower or a cultivator, a processor, a distributor, or a retail outlet that actually that touches the plant, those ancillary brands are so important. They are vital to cannabis businesses because cannabis businesses, we all need the same exact type of support and foundation that every other business needs, right? So, financing, accounting, legal, advertising, social media. And so we bridge all of those various, aspects and capabilities together, not only on a tech platform, but it's a smart tech platform. So we use AI. So as soon as you sign up, you know, we'll go through a few questions to kind of talk about what type of subscription or membership you're going to have, and then what types of resources you need if you're an innovator, an advisor, or an investor. And based on that, based on those characteristics and what you chose in your profile, our AI tools automatically match you with the types of resources that you need to help scale your business, grow your community, or find projects to invest in and grow your ROI as an investor, advisor, or innovator. So, really, there is space for every single person on the Seed platform, right? Like, again, lifestyle brands, influencers, social media people, artists, digital artists and music artists, all of that entertainment. Think of Seed as a lifestyle and entrepreneurship platform for Black innovators and dreamers. That's really what we are. That's really what we are. So, yeah, just kind of wanted to bring that point home and help, you know, realize that there is space for everyone at the table. And these are seats that we deserve and rightfully need to take ownership of.
Can you guys walk us through the process of applying for a license? Just to refresh for anyone that recently joined and to make sure I understand, y'all had applied for a license to do something related to touching the plant and was rejected. Is that correct? And then
Right.
after that, um, came up with the idea for Seed. So what was the original business, and what just break down the process of getting a license and how that whole system works and why the government even requires licenses in the first place.
Absolutely. Babe, you want to start or you want me to
Yeah,
take this?
yeah, I got this. So, we okay, yeah, I know. Yeah, that's good feedback. So we decided to apply for a cultivation license. One, because we understand cultivation is the root of uh, this country. It's agriculture. I think pragmatic can agree with that. If you are producing the products, then you essentially have all of the power. When you are a dispensary, you don't have that much power. You don't have that much leverage. So we wanted to make sure that we were grounded in the foundation of cannabis by being a cultivator. Now the license, that shit, it wasn't as difficult as other licenses we've done in the past. So this one we had to we had to go through the state portal and fill out multiple questions, basically standard operating procedures on how we them all of the parties that were involved. They had to all sign affidavits, which was a little headache right there because multiple people really didn't want to you know some of our contractors and future employees didn't want to show that they were in cannabis because it could have negatively affected their business because it is a federally illegal substance. That just being certain people being involved with that can be a red flag for others, specifically those who have a security clearance or who are government contractors. So throughout the application period, it was a paper um, it was something that we submitted through digital at first, but then they had the platform that the state was using had technical problems. So we had to submit our full application, which was more than, I'm going to say, 50 pages in person. We had to go in person,
And it had to
upload
be
it.
redacted. It was crazy.
Yeah, on a
Like, talk
USB
about,
drive.
yeah, talk about the, okay, so Trey is definitely downplaying it. He said it's not as complicated. No, it's not complicated to do the work, but it's time consuming, right? I mean, let's be real. We had some, because like Trey said, they opened up a digital application round, and then they closed that digital application round, and there were so many errors in those previous applicants because this was a social equity round, so most of them were minorities. There were so many errors that they found to be in those applications that they completely disregarded all of those applications, including the fees that those people had paid, and then opened up another round. But guess what? They didn't even let those previous applicants know. They didn't even let us know. We had to figure it out by going to the MMCC's website and finding out that there was a new round open for the social equity program. And
Right.
then we found multiple companies that were basically trying to use us as blackface and be the face of their building, the face of their corporation, but didn't actually want us to have any hand or role in it. And then, we had to not only find contractors, but we had to have land. We had to sign a lease for land. And so not only does your land need to be agriculturally zoned, but you also need to have a landlord who allows cannabis and hemp to be grown on their land. And then also, you have the pledge. You have, not only do you need to show that you're capable of acquiring assets worth 2.5 or $5 million, but you need a minimum of 5 million pledged. You need an affidavit of somebody who has liquid assets of $5 million or more to pledge to front your business or fund your business, so that you can show that you have the startup fees to actually start up if you were awarded a license. So there were plenty of hurdles and obstacles to overcome. I mean, we paid for networking dinners with our state representatives, and really tried to go the political route. You have to rub elbows with your politicians. You have to know people. You have to be able to get this funding. It's not a difficult application in itself to fill out, but it was difficult. It was a completely difficult and non-transparent process to becoming a licensed awardee.
Okay, so there's basically all of these really high barriers to entry, and they just are kind of stacked on top of each other, making it almost impossible to get a license.
Yeah, I
Absolutely.
mean, they just put it's in front of your face. It's almost like it's bait. They're really, it almost feels like they're collecting our data, and then figuring out what to do with it, and then issuing out the licenses. We applied for a license in 2019. They didn't give out the awards until the beginning of 2021. So there was an investigation that had to happen. There were multiple lawsuits involved. So, and here's the thing: when it comes to social equity cannabis rounds, this isn't foreign. This has happened in multiple states. We spoke with Zania. Some of you might know her. She's in the cannabis industry in Cali. She was telling us that this same thing happens all the time with California residents. We speak to our brothers and sisters in Oklahoma where there is no license cap. This is happening there. So when it comes to us obtaining a license, it almost seems like there is a strategy to make sure that the numbers are adequate. If you all understand what I'm saying, like the numbers, there's a set number of minorities who have specific licenses: grow, dispensary, and processing.
Got it. And if you don't have a significant amount of startup capital or a backer with a lot of money, then you're basically disqualified from the jump.
Right. They won't even look at you. That's the first thing they look at. So because I was in the legal cannabis industry, I had a few connects with the MMCC, and I hope none of them are listening. I'm not going to name drop any names, but that was the first thing that they told us that they look at. Do you meet the financial requirements? If you don't meet those first, your application will be thrown out. And we saw multiple people in person have their application thrown out immediately.
Wow. So you guys get you get rejected from getting this license, and then you're thinking, okay, well, how can we get Black people to be able to be a part of the industry without actually having to go through any of that bullshit? And you came up with building a platform that helps to connect um that helps to connect uh, people in the cannabis space to each other. Am I getting this right?
Right. So, we had to do our research because we wanted to make sure that we wanted to see if anyone else was doing this. And there are multiple cannabis networking apps out there. Some of you might be familiar with LeafWire or even MJ Link, and those were created because of the restrictions against cannabis. Because it's federally legal, like I said, you can't mention that in certain on certain platforms without being red flagged and having your profile tore down. But we wanted to be a part of a platform. We wanted to see if there was one out there first before we created one, to see if there was a platform that helped those who had these type of barriers piled up against them and were organized in a way that, what's your strategy in partnering people? What's your strategy in pairing people with the right resources? And we want to make sure that you're not just talking about cannabis. You're talking about multiple industries and not just the ones that have require a license. Like I said, dispensary, cultivation, and processing, that's limited. And that's what most of these technical platforms focused on, was getting you a license in the cannabis industry, when you have not only those licenses that you can go after, but you can go after the ancillary, the security, the waste management, the delivery, transportation. But then you also have the hemp industry, which is the production. You have this similar licenses, very easy, very low hanging fruit for us to obtain, but most of these platforms didn't introduce that back in 2019. So we were saying we need a platform that introduces every opportunity available, not only in the cannabis and hemp industry, but every industry, period.
So once you realized that you wanted to build this platform, what was the next step? How did you go about getting it created?
Yeah, so that's where I fucked up. So I was being Mr. Solo Dolo over here, and I was at my government job as a cybersecurity engineer, and I was asking people around like, "Hey, man, you know how anyone who's building anything in cannabis, and a lot of people were scared. I talked to at least 15 developers who were all scared to touch or even mention anything about cannabis in technology because the fear of their security clearance being, revoked, or, their benefits being revoked. And I understand, it, I went about in a different way, and I was in the same situation. I have a security clearance, and I have benefits that are coming from the government, but I see the future of cannabis. I see what this industry lacks, and I see that with when when you look at cannabis and tech, there are multiple gaps and there are multiple voids for us to fill. This industry doesn't have that many technical applications that help every aspect of the industry. I mentioned the networking apps, which definitely could use more work. But the main technical apps that are out there that people know of are Weed Maps and Leafly, and those are product marketplaces that focus on the product itself and the consumer. We wanted to build an application that focused on the value chain, the supply chain, and making sure that the people in the industry, the people who wanted to build a business and network with one another, could do that in a more secure and easier sense. So, what I mean by secure is uh, a lot of these apps were getting targeted, and one of them specifically was it was by the cookies owner. I can't remember the app, but it was I think it actually was MJ Link, but they got targeted, and because they had low restrictions on their platforms, they had multiple people posting anything and everything, pornographic material, where people could buy weed or buy cannabis instead of just posting educational content. So, there are multiple technical outlets out there, but there was no one who was doing what we wanted to do, as well as bringing the values of Web3 into it. Like I mentioned, that security, that secure aspect, the bringing a community oriented sense, as well as that transparency. Transparency is the biggest component for us, especially when it comes to cannabis. That's something that you're putting into your body, and essentially something that can affect other people in your environment. So we wanted to make sure that if you create any type of cannabis business, one, you understand the intentionality of where you're using this cannabis, and two, who is behind the business. We were talking to On Point yesterday, and IV kept mentioning, he was getting his chicken sandwich, his vegan chicken sandwich at that, and he was telling us about the supplier, but he couldn't tell us if he knew them or if he trusted them. And for us, if you're putting something into your body, you should know exactly who the supplier is. We want to make sure that we're doing and conducting business with people who understand us, who are for the same plight as us, and who want to see our mission foiled. So, and that is making sure that our community is beyond is it's taking care of the wealth gap that is in front of us right now, and making sure that we're economically and socially at an advantage.
Mercedes, I see you
Mercedes,
have something to add.
I hear her upstairs.
Absolutely. I'm eating my own chicken sandwich and coughing over here.
You must have got one of them hot buffalo chicken sandwiches. I hear it in.
It's actually the water. It went down the wrong pipe. But I was coming on to actually share because Trey brought in the mission. The mission is to inspire 3 million new cannabis aligned brands by the year 2052. By the year 2052, the Black median wealth is set to fall to zero. That means that more than half of us will be above, I'm sorry, half of us will be above zero median wealth, meaning that our assets, our ownership is at zero or above, and then the other half of us will be at below zero, meaning that we have negative ownership, meaning that we owe other people and that we own assets that we don't actually, or that we lease assets that we don't actually own. So for us, the mission is so important, right? Because by influencing, and the way that we came up with 3 million is that we are 14% of the country, 47 million people. And by acquiring 14% of our ideal market, our 25 to 45 year olds, that brings us down to 3 million, not of the whole 47, but of, I think it's like 21 million something people in that age group, right? Because in that age group, People have the energy, the time, the wherewithal to actually take a business and run it forward. Now, those people who are above the 45 mark or above the 55 or 65 mark, those are people who, if they're not interested in actually running a business and starting up a business, then they can join as investors and as advisors so that they can lend their expertise and their assets, their land assets, their wealth assets to building up the dreams and businesses of the innovators who join the platform. So literally there is space for everybody on the platform, in this community, and in the industry overall. So I definitely wanted to just come through and share our vision, our mission, and we plan on doing all of this through our ambassador program, through partnerships, through innovation, through things such as, really inspiring our people to think bigger. We did talk in depth on the Black NFT art call earlier this week about innovation, and just one little thing that can change that can absolutely change the world, like growing hemp in your yard to use as industrial hemp for like a hemp paper or hemp mesh panels, or some type of fabric or something to go towards a new clothing brand, or an automobile manufacturing plant. If you think about Black people and consumerism, we really are pushing that paradigm shift from consumerism to corporation, right? Because we're constantly buying, and we have this multi-trillion-dollar spending power, but our dollar only circulates in our community for 7 minutes or less. And so what we really need to do is bring that back full circle and say, okay, how can we support our people and our allies? Right. So we definitely have allies out here. We definitely want to support them also. But really, our people have been so disproportionately disposed in the cannabis industry. That's why we focus on our community first, and then and then support everyone as they prove allyship. And so what we're looking to do is inspire people to take one little step, right? If you grow 1 acre of hemp, even if you don't have a full acre, right? But just as an example, 1 acre of hemp it grows within 3 to 4 months. And within that 3 or 4 month time frame, you can clear 40,000 metric tons of carbon dioxide from the air. So not only are you growing a plant that is more durable than paper, more durable than cotton, softer and longer lasting than cotton, but you're actually providing green renewable energy resource, and you're adding to the combat of deforestation, right? You're allowing us to keep our trees that breathe oxygen into our air and renew the air that we breathe, but at the same time you're growing something that can help to contribute to that industry in a better way. And that's what Vaughn means by when he says replacing those harmful practices. What if we could create, what if we had a hair master and a scientist get together and they created a line of hemp-based hair, right? Of hemp-based weave. Women always are wearing weave, clip-ins, a full weave, whatever. There is opportunity out there. There's opportunity for all of those different solutions. If you think about, like, Trey was in the military, and one of the biggest issues he had is his feet, because they were in these boots all day, and the boots were very hard and they hurt really bad. So what if we had somebody who was passionate enough in the community about that, or they really wanted to change that part of the industry? They got together with our hemp scientists, right? And they put their heads together to create a shoe insert that completely changed the game. Now we know that this is a viable product, a viable business, because Dr. Scholl's has been in business for 100 years, providing maybe 70 or 80. I'm not even sure when they were founded, but they're providing that same type of benefit, that same type of resource. So what we're talking about is replacing and upgrading those harmful technologies and things that don't benefit us. And by innovating, we get to bring that money back into the community, create partnerships that influence innovation, and build generational wealth. and then at the same time increasing our health and everything on the flip side. So really just putting your heads together with other people, building a team, building partnership, because partnership is everything. There is power in partnership. And then having the transparency in your full supply chain to say, okay, this is where I source my hemp from, this is where I source my oil from, this is where I source this and that. That is what the Seed platform is about. Inspiration, transparency, partnerships, and the actual like process of getting shit done. Excuse my French.
Yeah, all that, Mercy, and we're all about empowerment. So
Hmm.
I see 40420 in the house. We appreciate that love, brother. We love what you guys are doing in the hemp space. You guys should definitely check them out. As well as the Chamber of Black Markets, definitely game changers in what is being done in the hemp and cannabis industry. So I really, you guys should definitely check them out. But back to what I was saying about empowerment. When it comes to the cannabis industry, this is the most effed up thing. Certain states